Sue has been a Toastmaster since 2000, has earned two Distinguished Toastmaster Awards in the traditional program and one in Pathways. She has completed 13 paths and uses FreeToastHost in 5 of her 6 Toastmaster clubs. She has held a variety of club officer and district officer leadership positions. Sue currently provides FreeToastHost support in District 38 and serves as Area 32 Director in District 83. In this interactive session, Sue will share ideas with you to navigate the FreeToastHost Club website as a member as well as an administrator. You will learn best practices, tips, and techniques for navigating the FreeToastHost website, how to customize your homepage and meeting agendas, how to store document files for members and guests for easy access, how to use the free FreeToastHost website to market your club to prospective members and to attract guests to your meetings. Please help me in welcoming Sue Brooks.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for the warm introduction. Grateful you're all here. Few pieces of housekeeping before we begin the program. You will be able to raise your hands for questions. You can raise your actual hand. Michelle will be looking at the screens, or you can raise your virtual hand, in which case you will pop to the top. You could also type your questions in the chat, and Michelle will monitor the chat throughout the program to see if there's any questions that relate to something that we just spoke about. In addition, I'm going to pause for questions during select intervals, and you'll see that prompt on the screen. This presentation is being recorded, and we will share it. I have a PDF of the slides, which I will upload to the chat at the end. I will also upload some resources for you to get in contact with me after the show and for future reference if you want to look at and ask the FreeToastHost people who created this if you need support. There are links to that. So let's get started. Again, what you're learning: best practices, tips, and techniques for navigating the site. This is a beginner workshop, but I do have a couple of intermediate level questions answered here. There have been a few people who sent in a few questions in advance, and I said, I'll just help you out during the show, and hopefully we'll get your questions answered. And for any of you, if there's anything that you want to explore in the show, after the show, please feel free to get in touch with me so we can continue the conversation. Again, you're going to learn how to customize your homepage and meeting agendas, how to store document files for members and guests for easy access, and there is a difference, and how to use the FreeToastHost website to market to prospective members and to attract guests to your meeting. Again, this is a lunch and learn. So for those of you who are off camera, that's fine. You can stay off camera, or you can be on camera. Please make sure you're comfortable, relaxed, have your beverages and any food. This is your lunch hour. Some people are working and this is their lunch break. So I'm grateful that you're here to join me during your lunch break. Next up, for best practices, tips, and techniques. Navigating the FreeToastHost site, you will see a number of other districts, clubs, websites, because as Michelle and I stated at the beginning, the club that I'm in here in District 38 uses EasySpeak, not FreeToastHost. So I'm getting screen snaps from some of my clubs as well as others. You'll navigate on the left panel. There's a main menu, logins, and members only sections. In the large screen in the middle, you'll see how this particular club has shown its officers as well as indicating how they're a specialty club and that they're all about podcasting. So again, you can log in club member login, you'll see this in context and then enlarged over here on the right. You needed to be added to the website by the administrator and have it approved before logging in. You have to opt in to be part of the website, to be part of this wonderful resource and receive communications. So if you don't opt in, you can't participate. So I encourage everybody to opt in and to encourage their members to do so. You'll enter your email name or username in that panel, and then below your password. And this is what it looks like when it's filled in. I have my name, and once you start typing it in, if you've been in there before, it remembers you, so you could just click on it so you don't have to type the full thing out, and then your password. If you have not logged in before, or if you forget, or if you want to change your password, just leave the password field blank and a link will be emailed to you to set your password or to reset it. Next up, member login. Since I've logged in the login pane, it now says log out. And the opportunity to log in as a site admin is locked. Because I'm logged in, all these things below that show members only are now available to me. You cannot access the members only section if you are not logged in. Here's the meeting agenda page. In other words, I've logged in, I've clicked on meeting agendas, the first line item in the members only section, and it brought me to this particular day's meeting. This took place on March 10th. They had a meeting theme, and the administrators or the Toastmaster or the vice president education graciously added the Zoom meeting link at the top. This way, everybody knows where to go. Oh, where's that link? I forgot to put it on my calendar. It's right there. Just go to the website. Next up, if you want to edit the meeting agenda, this particular function, depending on the club and depending on how you have your settings set up, can be by the Toastmaster, by anybody who's logged in as an admin, and by the VPE. So you may edit the meeting agendas using this pencil icon that's towards the right. So here, say you have your basic meeting structure, but you want to add a role. Somebody was very funny in one of my clubs, and he said, let's, instead of an ah counter, let's have a ha-ha counter. So he wanted this was, I think, for one of the April Fool meetings. So he said, yesterday at training, Jan Paul told us to add fun to our meetings. Try a ha-ha counter. So again, you can have fun, or you can have another one if you want to have extra evaluators, or if you want to say, hey, let's try a joke master or an inspirational quote or a round robin evaluation. Here's the place that you could do it at the part of the agenda at the bottom where it says add, edit, agenda item. So you would type in the name of the role and then a brief description. And then further on down the screen, you can say if it's something that you want people to sign up for, or if there's time here, if you need to assign time to it, or other attributes. So I encourage you to go into these sections and play around with it and see what's there. Next up, you can add a member to the roles in this panel for editing. What I've done here is I've blocked out the names of the people for privacy reasons, but I want to draw your attention to something. Where it says unassigned, you'll see that down pointing caret, click on it, and it will pop up, as you see in this screen, all the names of the members of the club who have opted in to the FreeToastHost site. You'll see their names. To the left, you will see how many times that person has performed that particular role. This must be me because it's selected. and say, I've been Toastmaster 20 times in that particular club. Usually other people have been 0. They could have been a new member. Somebody's been in that role 10 times, 18 times. So you get the message. So here's a good way to see if people are engaged with a particular role or not. Oh my goodness, this person was timer 28 times and this person's never spoken. These kind of things. There's other ways to get role reports, but I wanted to share that with you, that you could do it from this screen.
So
Next. Yes,
there are 2 questions in the chat that may have something to do with what you were just talking about.
please.
Tia
Can you
is
read them?
asking if there is a spreadsheet to document the people in that list.
There's a role report, and thank you for that question, Tia. There is a role report.
Thank
You
you.
you can do a role report, and you can, you could select role report, and then you can run the report for yourself, for all members, for certain members, and you can see how often they've done that. And I hope that answers the question. And Michelle, you said there was another question.
Yes, Jules asked, who has access to use the admin tools?
That's a perfect question. Thank you so much. That is usually set up by the leadership team. When you get your website, there's usually 1 or more people, but we try to restrict it to a very small segment. 2, maybe 3 people should have admin rights, and that's full admin rights to log in as an administrator. However, various officers, club officers, depending on their role, can access parts of the site for which they have responsibility. For example, the vice president of public relations might have access to the agendas. The VPE would have access to the agendas. The treasurer would have access to the dues management part. Each club officer has various things that are natural for their roles. The membership person would have access to the membership management pane within their role, but global access is usually restricted to a couple of people in the club. It's best if as few people as possible have global access, but you can have limited access based on your role and responsibility. And up to 3 officers per line item role can be selected. So you could have 1 person, 2, or 3 for each of the administrative functions in the admin panel. I'll be able to share part of that today, but we can explore it more in detail at a future seminar. And I hope that's helpful. I'm going to move on and continue to place questions in the chat, and Michelle will moderate it. Here we have the opportunity to select your project. I'm going to present an educational session for this particular club. I've chosen my path, which was at the time team collaboration. In this pull down, I'm going to select it. By default, it comes up as a level 5 project, and then you can scroll down by expanding all or collapsing all the projects in all the paths. So this way, once you have all that selected, your evaluator can look at the project and then get the form. I'll be showing you that on the next screen, but also there's a place here to name the title of your speech and to provide an introduction. This way the Toastmaster knows how to introduce you and the title of the speech is captured. Next, I want to expand on that part that I was just describing. So Anne is a speaker in this meeting, and she's working on this path and this project. So if you're Anne's evaluator, you can go into project description and you can read up about it if you've never done a high performance leadership project before, or if you want a refresher. On the right, in the lower part of the screen, you could see there's a place to get her evaluation form. So you click, it opens up, and then you could download it. This way, you're ready to start the evaluation using the PDF before the meeting. And it's always a good idea to be familiar with it and connect with the speaker. If you're the evaluator, connect with the speaker to find out, in addition to the project purposes, what are her particular goals for that speech. Always connect beforehand. Next up. So this is your meeting agenda page. And another thing that you can do is in the main pane where you see view another agenda, there's a drop down here where you could see a number of agendas. Say you want, wait, Bibbins, let's see, he's the welcoming person. He's going to start us off, but what happened to Stella? Or I want to see something. Wait, did somebody give a speech? I want to go back to another date. So you can scroll up or down to look at other agendas to see if there's information there, or if you want to go ahead. Like this is the one for March 24th, but say I want to go ahead to April 14th and I want to sign up for something. This is the place you do it. There's also a tick box right next to that that says list all agendas. And depending on the age of your club, you will see a short list or a very long list if you want to go back in time and see other agendas. The option to get a roll report would be in these buttons if you are one of the admins. This is an abbreviated set of buttons based on the fact that I'm not logged in as an admin and I wasn't the Toastmaster that night. So the number of buttons that you will see over here toward the right depends on if you're an admin or if you're interacting as a member. I'm going to pause now for any questions. Again, as we stated, you could raise your hand or type something in the chat.
So when you log in to FreeToastHost and access the agendas, does it automatically default to the current agenda?
Yes, thank you for that question. It's a good one. The next meeting's agenda will be there. That is the first one that you will see. Yes, that defaults to it is exactly as you typed up. And if it's that day and the meeting's still taking place, it will be that day. Once the meeting's over, or once the day is over, you'll see the next one.
The next question is just a confirmation that you can see all of the agendas. And if so, how do you see all of the agendas?
In that drop down, I'm going to go back a screen if you don't mind. View all agenda, you will see whatever the club has shown to be what it wants to show for whatever it deems appropriate for now. But if you want to see all agendas you can that the club has ever created, you can click this box here and it will show a check mark, and your drop down will then show every single agenda in existence that your club has ever had since it started using FreeToastHost. Is that helpful?
I think that is helpful.
Okay.
Also, Lewis asks if you can send an evaluation to the speaker through FreeToastHost or if it has to be separate.
You can, once the speaker has placed their information in FreeToastHost, the evaluator can go in and get it, but there are ways to email things to people, including the evaluations, the evaluation forms. And it could go, the speaker can mail it to the evaluator. But are you saying a completed evaluation form? That's usually done by email. I don't see a place where you would email it through FreeToastHost once it's completed. But I'm exploring the new pathways, and I think there's ways to do it that way.
And
We can
that's it
do
for
that
the
as
chat.
we learn more about pathways, but thanks for that. Any others?
That's it in the chat for
Thank
now.
you. Thank you, Michelle, and thank you for the participation. We're going to continue and learn a little bit more. So here, if you have admin permission, you go down to this login part. Again, that's on the left section of the nav. And right now, I'm logged in as a member, so I could log out as a member, but I could log in as a site admin using this button. And this will pop up. You enter the club number and then the admin password. And then at the bottom, there's a place to log in. There's also ways to change the site admin, and that gets complicated, but there is a way to do it if you need to. Moving on. This is what it's going to look like now. Again, I can log out as a member. I can log out as a site admin, and a new button pops up, Launch Admin Console. And earlier in the presentation, I was mentioning how you can do certain things as an administrator, and it's through this admin console. This is what it looks like. Before we delve into that, I just want to show something to you. At the top of the grayed out screen in the way back, it says Talk of Monmouth, and then it has the club number. You will notice when you go through different things in your use of the site and your interactions with pathways and your interactions with Toastmasters International, sometimes it wants to know your club number. Even for club officer training, sometimes they want to know your club number. And if you're in a number of clubs, you might not have this digit seven. This particular one has 7 digits. You might not have them all memorized. What I do and encourage my clubs to do is put the club number at the very top of their webpage. This way you don't have to worry, what's my club number? I forgot. So anyway, here's your site admin console. You can interact with this by choosing different screens from the drop down. This one currently says website settings, and there's a number of tabs. This one's highlighted that says basic settings. Then there are several others: appearance, homepage, meeting information and directions, social links, floater messages, access settings, admin info, website statistics, and about. You could change these things at any time, but this is the starter location for making these changes. And again, different people will have different access to different parts of the site based on how you are assigned and your role. Somebody asked me about adding photos to your homepage. So this particular graphic is a snap of a homepage where you could see a few different photos. So you can have more than one photo on your homepage. This particular site, Talk of Monmouth, just had a centennial celebration. And what I did was I took the photo that we snapped at the celebration and I added it to the homepage. All the other photos, I'm going to go back a screen. All the other photos are still there. I didn't get rid of the one that we had at the street fair. I didn't get rid of the one that we had at our celebration meeting in July. They're still there, so you can add it cumulatively. However, if you do want to remove photos, you may. How do you get photos onto your homepage? In the panel that allows you to upload photos with that appearance panel here, the second button in. Sorry, for the homepage panel, 3 in. You'll get a pop-up, homepage content. there is a blue icon of a screen with a green plus sign in the second row. You will select that, and the text that goes along with that is image. So you're going to upload an image to FreeToastHost. This pane pops up, and you will choose the file. You then navigate to the part on your computer where this picture file resides. And then after you do that, send it to the server and then hit OK on the button in the lower right. To get that file up on your homepage, after the line that says URL, you select Browse Server, that button, and then the OK button in the lower right. And then here, in Image Browser, you will see all the photos that you've ever uploaded to the FreeToastHost site. And if you want, you can get rid of some of them if you no longer want them or need them. And you will see in the lower left the image of the people at the 100th celebration that we had placed on the homepage. Questions?
Are there parameters to the size of the photo that you can put in FreeToastHost?
There might be. I haven't memorized them, but if there are, it would be listed on the pane where you would be uploading the photos.
Thank you. We don't have any other questions.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's talk about marketing your club using the FreeToastHost website. I'll show you some examples of some clubs that I'm in and some other clubs' websites that I found that I thought you should look at. How to market your club. One way to do this is to get your members engaged with the private member directory. Approximately halfway down, you could see that listing. And once you select that, you can add information about yourself. I put in some information in my bio, I uploaded a photo, and then once you're satisfied, select the button and you will be part of the directory. You can choose to make your information public or private. If you choose to make it private, only the people who are members of the club who have opted in will see this information. But for marketing purposes, if you put things in there that you would like to share with other people so they can maybe be interested in you or your club, go ahead and make it public. I, as well as these other 3 members, this is the end of the alphabets by first name, have done 3 different things. I added a lot of information in some social networks. Susan has a couple, and Teresa hasn't added anything yet. So I have my bio, I have some social sites that I interact with. Susan has her bio, her sites that she's interacted with, and Teresa hasn't added anything yet. So this is a good way. If you've added things and people are exploring your club, oh, wow, I want to get to know that person better. Oh, wow, she's done this. I see she and I have some of the same interests aside from Toastmasters. So you can then help each other and yourself and future people who might be visiting your club. If they're looking at this and say, I want to get to know these people better, I want to visit a meeting, I want to learn more. So this is one tool. This particular club, What Exit, some of you who are familiar with the state of New Jersey know that it's a joke. So when this club was formed, straight out of Jersey, we use the state joke in our club name. And then they go on to discuss how it got started. We span the Parkway. And now we are way beyond What Exit because some of our members live in other countries. Questions so far?
You must be doing a great job, Sue. There are no questions.
Okay, I'm sure there'll be more. Okay, customizing your homepage and meeting agendas. Here's some other things that you can do, and this also kind of ties in with the marketing. This homepage I found after a conversation with District 838's Division A Director Amy Culbertson. Amy told me that she's an avid book reader, and so am I. Amy came to one of my club meetings in one of my Toastmaster book groups, and then she said the time wasn't convenient for her, but she joined a club in Texas. So you can see the time frame here shows Saturday, October 20th, 4 p.m. Central. This particular book club does something extremely interesting. They put not only the book that they're currently reading, but since this club's been in existence since 2017, in their main menu, they've added books we've read, and they have a separate section for each calendar year. To me, that was exciting because not only am I an avid reader, I might want to visit them. I also might want to check out other books that they've read and enjoyed. And that gave me an idea on things that I might want to do with my book club. So this is one way to customize your homepage. You can tweak it if you have a special interest, or if there's something that you want to focus on and share with the rest of the world. And you don't have to be a specialty club to do this, by the way. You could do whatever makes your particular club unique. Again, this is a different book group. This is the one that I'm involved in. What we do is we, at the top, state what our month's selection is, who the author is, when we meet, and then here's the next book. So if you're visiting, it's like, oh, I might want to join that meeting. I'm not sure if I want to join the club, but might want to join that meeting because that looks like it's a really good book. So let me check it out. Again, this is the podcast club. This had the specialty interest for people who are interested in learning about podcasting, how to podcast, how to write one, how to make one, how to market one. Or if you're an existing podcaster, how to take your podcasts to the next level. There's things that when people come to see this homepage, they say, oh, okay, this is a good way to show people we are all about podcasting. And then there's other things that you can do. This Club What Exit that we talked about came up with this graphic to show what exit. And we're showing the state of New Jersey, communication, leadership, networking, and the microphone icon. Different ways you can tweak your homepage. And again, you can go in and tweak your meeting agendas as well. Let's go to storing document files for easy access. Did you know there is a resource here in FreeToastHost? For this particular club, we wanted to make sure that there were options for visitors, options for guests under public downloads. Public downloads is about a third way down in the nav on the left. And these are things that anybody who's visiting this site can access. There's nothing that's proprietary in terms of doesn't show any people's names and addresses and contact information, nothing to violate any trust. What we have here are some general PDFs which Toastmasters International has supplied, as well as information about this particular club. A number of years ago, one person created her high performance leadership project, leading to her Distinguished Toastmaster Award by creating a welcome pack and placing these PDFs up here in the public facing section for guests. Read first, Welcome to Toastmasters and What Exit, the benefits of membership, membership application, why you should join, your path to leadership, all kinds of things that a guest might want to know about the club and might want to know about Toastmasters. So you could upload these. I think there is a restriction in file size, but it's pretty generous. Next, for members, once you are logged in as a member, and you could see in the login place over on the logins section of the NAB, I'm logged in as a member now. So these particular files are accessible only to members. For example, say the person became a member, they paid their dues, they signed their application, they joined, we welcomed them. So here's a great resource for people who want to learn all there is so they can feel comfortable getting set up with their mentor, preparing their icebreaker. Read first, welcome to Toastmasters and what exit, sample meeting agenda. What exit sponsored DTM speak out, information about an activity we had. And other things that a new member can read, as well as the generic section for all interested parties. You can also store document files. In a couple of the clubs that I'm a member of, I'm also a club officer. And as the club secretary, I found it was a good point to upload the meeting minutes from our officer meetings up here, where it says meeting minutes. This way, I know where they are, and any other officer, any other member for that matter, can go up and read them. If there's a change in leadership, for example, at the end of the year, and you want to refer to something that took place maybe towards the end of the previous year, what did we say? Who was involved with that meeting? Can we go back to that March meeting or that May meeting? I want to read those minutes again. They're right there. You don't have to worry about who has them and everybody has access to them. So that's something that I do to store the document files, and you could store whatever you want. And again, there's a file size limit, but it's fairly generous. Questions?
I see nothing in the chat.
All right, thank you, Michelle. We'll move on. Okay. So let's have something that you can do now, because we're coming towards the end of today's session. What's one thing that you will bring back to your club as a result of today's training? Take some time. And something Charisse wrote earlier, you missed the first 10 minutes. You're going to post a link to the recording and you keep getting dropped from the call. Okay, sorry, Charisse, that you keep getting dropped from the call. But yes, we will definitely be making a recording available. This session is being recorded and it will be posted to the District 38 YouTube channel. So Louis, you learned about adding marketing and marketable material to the public and member download areas. Terrific. We can share public facing documents, bios, as well as private ones for members only. The other thing that's really good to know is that you can add hashtags to your admin section and make your club discoverable. And something else, because we do have a limited amount of time, this is a lunch and learn today. I want to make sure everybody has their questions answered. I want to make sure that you have time to think about something we said earlier. I plan on setting up a page for club to mostly simplify sign-up process. That's excellent, Patrice. Definitely. It takes the load off the VPE. And you can encourage people, if you sign up and set up a few agendas in advance, it takes the burden off of the VPE, the next Toastmaster, and allows people ownership of their educational journey. Oh, I'm going to be Toastmaster next week. Maybe after that, I'll give a speech. I think I'll be somebody's evaluator. Then let me do table topics. You see where I'm going with this? This way, I'm not hogging all the speaking spots. I will share the recording link with my club members. Thank you, Paul.
I have a question that was sent. How do I designate officers as admin?
That would be through the admin panel. You would then allow different people to be the admin through the admin panel. There's usually one main person, and then once you have the admin password set up, you would share it with them. I also recommend changing the admin password each year. This way, when there's a change over, people will have the most current. The other thing, since we're adding information to the chat on what you got out of this, I wanted to share that this is the first in a series of free Toast seminars sponsored by District 38's Voice Fusion Seminars. I've strategically scheduled this with the help of Michelle to make sure that we're having this before the club officer training and TLIs begin. I'll be scheduling an advanced session or an intermediate to advanced session in the springtime, sometime after March. But if you have other questions, we can talk after this and before the next session. I'm going to move on to my last screen. And this is going to give you information. I'm going to share this after I stop sharing the screen. I'm going to share this with you. For more information, you can contact me via email. I'm on LinkedIn, so if you and I are not connected yet, let's connect. These are the documents that I discussed earlier. There are support documents through the FreeToastHost website, and there's also a support forum. I've stopped sharing, and at this point, I will give you the information that I said I would. I have a few uploads for you. First, I'll be sharing this presentation here. That's in PDF format. If for some reason you cannot get it, if you're on a company platform and you can't download things because of firewalls, let me know if you do want it. As we stated, Michelle's recording this session, and we will have it posted to the District 38 YouTube channel. Also, the contact information. I'm uploading that next. So if you want to get in touch with me after. Any other questions?
I don't see questions in the chat, but there were some other comments. Ramona says that she's taking back to her club the ease of signing up for meeting roles right in the agenda. And I also see that Sharon is happy that we can place the meeting link in the agenda.
Absolutely. There's something else that's good. It wasn't part of the screens that I shared, but it's something that you should know about. There's also a section at the bottom of each agenda page for notes. And some clubs put the information about the meeting links there. Or if you are not able to attend, you can write there, not able to attend. There's also an attendance pane you can select, not able to attend. So this way, you're upfront about your schedule. You don't have to say what you're doing or not doing, but this way the Toastmaster or the VPE knows not to bother you to sign up for a meeting role. If you know in advance, you have to go visit your mom and dad, or there's a holiday and you can't attend. So meeting notes are a good place to communicate with your club. Thank you for sharing the YouTube channel, Michelle. It's a wealth of information up there. Okay, Louis, set up custom email lists to distribute the agenda. I'm going to write your question down. I will answer what I can right now, and I will definitely cover this custom in a future session. Custom email lists to distribute agenda. And at a future session, I will show you how to do this. Yes. Is the short answer. In the admin panel, there are ways, sorry, even if you're the Toastmaster, you can definitely do this. Um, it only goes to members or non-members who signed up for all. Yes, Louis. So this is not even in the admin panel. This is if you're, for example, the Toastmaster or the VPE, you can set up who gets the email, and it's from a drop down. The ability to send, from what you could tell, it only goes to members. And that is true because it can't go to a list of somebody who's not opted in to your club website. But so that's the high level answer. It can't go to people who aren't part of your website within the FreeToastHost. But if you want to send up custom email lists, you can do it. And then there's a way to download your agenda and send it to that list outside of FreeToastHost. So there's a few different answers to this. So again, let me summarize and take each part of that question, because that's a good one, because sometimes you're going to want to send it to different audiences. So number one, you can send your agenda to everyone who's opted in to your FreeToastHost site. You can send your meeting agenda to a part or a section or a segment of your list, but everybody has to be on your site. You could send it to just the Toastmaster or just people who have a meeting role. The other thing you can do is download your meeting agenda, save it on your desktop, for example, and then have your own custom list outside of FreeToastHost, who could be members, and then send it to them. There's also a section in the admin for prospects and guests, but they do have to be opted in. And you could send things to them as well. And I will definitely put this on my list for the advanced seminar for the section of membership management and for lists management. Are there any other questions about that particular topic? You're welcome, Louis. Great to see you again. Well, Michelle, if there's no other questions, we can conclude.
I think that is good. We're going to give you a few more minutes back in your day. And I want to thank you, Sue, for this presentation. It was definitely helpful. I see a lot of great comments and questions in the chat that you've already addressed. I'm thrilled that everyone was here. Thank you for taking the time to join us at this Voice Fusion session about FreeToastHost. And we look forward to seeing you at the next session about FreeToastHost or about any of the other Voice Fusion sessions that you might want to attend. We are offering a lot of valuable information and tools that you can definitely benefit from. And if you want to bring a guest, feel free to bring a guest to some of these events. We would love to have them. Thank you again, Sue. And everyone have a nice day. Enjoy your 10 minutes that you get back.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you all for joining in. And I look forward to seeing you at the next FreeToastHost session. And if you have questions, please connect with me and I'll help you outside of today's presentation. Take care. Have a good day.